Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome, welcome, welcome. How is everyone doing today? I have lost my iPad yesterday, and I didn't look for it like I should have, and so I don't know where it is. Darn it. Oh, look at that. Here it is. All right. This has now made me do something else that I want to do right now. I just noticed something that needs to be swept. All right, iPad. iPod. My iPod wanted me to look behind my desk, so I did. Now I'm upset with myself. You know, guys, a metaphysical workspace needs to be clean at all times, right? That's one of our jobs, is to keep a clean metaphysical workspace, because if you are not clean, how can you? Oh, I was looking for this. God, what happened? Oh. All right. See this? All right. All right. I'm over myself. Actually, I'm not. I can't. I can't live this way. Sorry, guys. I can't sit here and be all metaphysical and be like, let me talk to God and see what's underneath here. Oh, sorry, guys. There you go. There you go. All right. The ball stay there. It's fine. There you go. All right. All right. I'm sorry, guys. The part that's OCD in me cannot sit here and consciously talk to you guys and pretend like I didn't see that and I can take care of it in 2 hours. I can't. I can't pretend. So you just might as well just get it up. Get the jump up. Alright. Oh, let me go wash my hands. I'll be right back. better now. It was definitely my fault. So I'm gonna leave it because oh good, you're green. Piece on. I'm gonna leave it because I have to mop it later. So, but I picked up. You know how when things. Are you guys funny like me? I watch what falls underneath my bed, right? So I'm constantly moving my bed, getting underneath it. Because why do things collect under your bed? It's the weirdest thing. And then it's always something you've always been looking for. Like that's where it is. So over the years, I've learned to get underneath my bed. This is my drawer, and it's my fault because I saw paper underneath my drawer, which I guess was the sign from God to be like, get underneath your drawer. And I was looking for my journal. I have a journal that I gave away, and I made it. I didn't give it away. I made it, and it's a spiritual journal, and it's a what I call a dear God journal, right? And my first journal was my first one I ever sold. I journaled for thousands of years. Look at this. Keep Tony safe. Aw. And I gotta get back. I'm gonna read the journal, see what I wrote, because the last time, because I lost it, so the last time I was in it was called a gratitude journal, Dear God journal, 11/18/2022. So I've got to get back into finishing the like putting stuff in there. In any case, there's just I saw paper underneath the drawer like a week ago, and I ignored it. Right, so I would clean around it. Does anybody else do that? Where you're like you don't move something on purpose, like on purpose. And so my iPod dropped yesterday. I didn't go look for it, and today I have one iPod in my ear, and I'm like, no, let me find this iPod. But unfortunately, I looked for it after the feed came live, and I'm like moving the dresser, and it wasn't crazy dirty, but it was enough to affect your space and your mind and your energy, right? The one thing I've learned being a metaphysical person is that, and I'm not saying you haven't, right? I'm talking about what I've learned being a metaphysical person is that when your space is junky, your mind is junky. And if your mind is junky, how can you help others, right? And my space is my workspace as well. So it makes it worse if I'm not keeping a healthy looking workspace, right? You would never keep a dirty workspace, right? So my home is my workspace. Okay, let me see who's on so far. Kylie, hello, Kylie from Facebook. How are you? Aw, Stephen. Hi, Stephen. How are you? And Grant is rising, Tracy, and everyone else. And to Kylie, Stephen, and Lisa, I love to say good health. How are you guys today? So this might be the first time that Facebook is with me. With Facebook, I do have something called a book club every single Saturday. And I read a book to completion. And I've read The Alchemist. And if you haven't read The Alchemist, it's a treasure trove of change. It's a treasure trove. I love The Alchemist. I would even read The Alchemist over again in book club. That's how much I love it. We've read Revelations. We've read Embraced by the Light by Betty Eady. Am I leaving something out? In the regular book club that I have on Wednesday, which is private, We've read the 5 things you need to know. I might make that my next book, but I thought I had something else for my next book. It doesn't really matter. We'll figure it out. Hi, Jessica. Good health. Good health. Oh, Sanji. Good morning, beautiful Tracy. Good morning, beautiful Sanji. And she says good morning to friends. Good health, Jessica. Good health, Sanji. Also, if anybody is needing a reading, there is no need for you to go through anything alone. Most people that get a reading from me, and yes, I'm bragging, most people say, I feel so much better. That is absolutely my intention. My intention is for you not to be running around with anxiety or having choices out there and you don't know what choice to make, right? I'm on the outside of what you're inside of. And so get a reading so that you can get direction, you could feel better, so that you could understand that maybe a lot of people don't realize what they're going through is not that bad, right? It's just made bad in their head, you know? So come get your come get your readings. All right. Where are we at? Where are we at? I didn't get any nail polish remover, so I'm a little perturbed about that. Just a little. Just a little perturbed. Guys, I'm not a fan of cotton balls. Is anybody a fan of cotton balls? I just kind of just don't like them. That's what I've decided. I don't like cotton balls. Which means I may not be able to get my nails done today. I do my own nails because out here in the Caribbean, I'm in St. Croix right now. Um, I don't like the way they do my nails, and I'm trying to rebuild them. It might have been more of a vitamin deficiency or a zinc deficiency. I don't know, but I'm just trying to rebuild them without paying $35, and they're taking off um, the part of the nail that I need. So I'm just taking care of myself right now. But I have no nail polish remover. That's okay. I'll figure something else out. All right. We are on page 42. And I tell you guys every single time that when I do these readings, I pray to God that He gives me some insight. It turns out this book is not the easiest of books to read, right? Right? You're having a conversation with God, you're getting insight from God, you write about it, and then for some reason, it's not made easy for me to understand. So I'm a little perturbed by that. With that, with that being said, I pray, which I'm doing right now as I'm talking to you. I pray that God gives me the insight to know and to say and to understand what this conversation is between Neil Walsh, who's the author, and God. I think if Neil put it in a book, then he's not trying to make it private, and he's offering us all an insight on his personal relationship with God. And I believe Neil was having a mental moment, right, with some depression. And I believe that this is not something he dreamt up or anything. I believe he was in a waking state and kind of like so mad at God and just giving up, not in the form of like suicide. I don't think I got that impression, but in the form of, just checking out. like not, but we know people like that, right? We know old people that has just checked out. I don't know, we're starting to see young people that's just checked out and not participating in life, and they're angry and leave me alone type of attitude, and I'm fine if you leave me alone, like that type of attitude. And I believe Neil was on his way to becoming all of that. And he starts to talk out loud to God. And to his surprise, an answer came back. And I believe an answer came back in his mind eye, right? In his mind, an answer came back. But he's trying to impress upon us that the answers were from God. So once he understood that he was having an authentic conversation from God in his mental depreciation, and I'm not calling him crazy, right? I think God makes us mentally despondent, mentally depreciated, mentally down, because sometimes that's the only way God can get in, right? So I'm not saying anything bad about his mental state. I think you have to get into the mental state to hear God. That's what I think. Think. All right. So, with that being said, this guy Neil starts to have more conversations with God, and more and more. And he starts to believe what these conversations are. And the conversations were meant to change him, get him to believe what's going on around him and why he feels like he's suffering the way he is. Ultimately, the good thing is that he took the information and put it in a book. As it turns out, oh wait, I thought it said it was off. Ultimately, what he's gotten out of these conversation, he put in a book for us to read. Now, I knew about this book from 20 years ago. I swore to God I read it. I would have, I didn't read it. That's the bottom line. Because now that I'm reading it, nothing seems familiar. Nothing. And I'm a little perturbed at how the book is written, because I don't think anything should be this hard, right? But then I thought about God, I thought about Jesus, and I was like, Jesus talked in parables, right? And I was like, maybe that's what this is, like the modern day version of parables. So now I'm determined to read the book and figure out what's going on. But I can't do it without prayer. So I pray to God that He would give me the proper insight to understand everything that I'm reading today. I'd like to understand it for myself, but I am speaking out digitally. And so I also would like for me to translate it to anybody that's listening. And I'd like to do that well in this year 2023. All right, guys. Let me see what everybody is saying. Anissa, how are you? Anissa, are you still having trouble trying to get into tarot class? Marlene, good morning. Good morning. By the way, guys, I have tarot class coming up, and it will be on April 15th. All right. Get the book that is associated with the class. And the book is Oh, I see what's happening. The book is Tarot Cycles, Circles, and Cycles, and you get it from Amazon. And it is made by Jason D. McKean. Jason D. McKean. All right. Tarot class, April 15th. The book club, the tarot class. The book is going to be Tarot, Circles, and Cycles by the wizard, tarot wizard Jason D. McKean. All right. If you guys have been following me, I don't, Facebook is new to all of this that I'm doing, guys. But Jason is on Facebook, Jason D. McKean. Look him up. Um, he has been my really good friend for so many years. We all met at the same Green Man store in California. And I don't carry a lot of friends, guys. I want you to know that, right? I don't carry a lot of friends where I can say they've been to my house, I've been to the house, we eat dinner, you know, every weekend, right? But Jason is a friend, right? A friend, where you're comfortable at work and you're comfortable outside of work, all right? Jason has driven me home and he lives on the other side of California. But why would he drive me home? We would have an event and it would end at the same, it'd be dark outside. And he's like, no, I'm driving you home. But Jason, he has a heart of gold. So thank you, Jason, for always being a good friend. Always. And even when other people didn't like me, for whatever reason, trust and believe, I can be unliked because, you know, I have a powerful voice and I know it and I use it. And people don't always like people that have a powerful voice, but it's not my problem. That is never going to you not using your voice and me using my voice, two different things. It's not my problem. And you know how people like try to impress upon somebody else? Why are you friends with her? Blah, 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 blah. I don't understand it. Jason never gave up his friendship with me. Never. And that is what I call a friend. That is what I live for. That type of friend. Let me see who else is here. Oh, black coffee, no cream. Good morning and good health, Miss Tracy and everyone. Good morning, Tiffany Henderson. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So, Jason, get the book, everyone. All right, back to the book club. We are on page 42. We are on page 42. And let's see. Put up a picture here. I gotta move that picture. Wish I can move it down. Just put this stuff here. Gotta clean up this stuff here. All right, I'm gonna put up Conversations with God. Okay, page 42. Thank you, God. Thank you. Let's get started, everyone. I don't have water. Oh, I've got coffee. Clearly, I'm a little ditzy today. Page 42. Oh, by the way, this book is like a whole run-on sentence. It never ends. So I'm beginning again based upon the book, but it looks like I just had a conversation. It's the way the book is written. It's a little weird. All right. Then the book starts at the bottom of 42. If I were to know these laws and obey laws, I would never have a moment's trouble. Is that what you're telling me? And God said, you would never experience yourself as being in what you called trouble. You would not understand any life situation to be a problem. You would never encounter any circumstance with trepidation. You would put an end to all worry, doubt, and fear. You would live as you fantasize how Adam and Eve lived. not as disembodied spirits in a realm of absolute, but as embodied spirits in the realm of the relative. Yet you would have all the freedom, all the joy, all the peace, all the wisdom and understanding and power of the spirit you are. You would be fully realized. You would be a fully realized being. This is the goal of your soul. This is its purpose, to be a fully realized being, to fully realize itself while in the body, to become the embodiment of all that it really is. This is my plan for you. This is my ideal that I should become realized through you. That thus concept is turned into experience. That I might know myself exponentially. The laws of the universe are laws that I lay down. They are perfect laws, creating perfect function of the physical. Have you ever seen anything more perfect than a snowflake? Its intrinsic detail, its design, its symmetry, its conformity to itself and originally from all else, all are a mystery. You wonder at the miracle of this awesome display of nature, yet, if I can do this with a single snowflake, what think you I can have done with the universe? Were you to see the symmetry of it, the perfection of its design from the largest body to the smallest particle? Would you not be able to hold the truth of it in your reality? Even now, as you get glimpses of it, you cannot imagine or understand its implications. Yet, you can know there are implications far more complex, far more extraordinary than your present comprehension can embrace. Your Shakespeare said it wonderfully. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. All right, that was a difficult passage. So this is where I try to figure out what Neil and God are talking about. So let me go back just a little. I'm going to go a little bit up on page 42 because it runs into where I started, right? Consequences are results, natural outcomes. These are not at all the same as retribution or punishment. Outcomes are simply that. They are what results from natural applications of natural laws. They are, they are results from the applications of natural law. They are that which occurs quite predictably, are consequences of what has occurred. A physical life function in accordance with the natural laws. Once you remember these laws and apply them, you have mastered life at the physical level. What seems like punishment to you, or what you would call evil or bad luck, is nothing more than natural law asserting itself. That reminds me of the Florida hurricane, the Asmafork Rivers in California, the storms and the tornadoes that's ripping through the Midwest. What seems like punishment to you, or what you would call evil or bad luck, is nothing more than a natural law. It's asserting itself, right? One of the things I said in Florida when the hurricanes came, right, is that Florida built out to the sea, right? They made Florida expand out to the sea. And one of the things that I said is that the sea took its land back, give it back to me, right? So what looks like punishment was just nature going, you're not supposed to be in my territory. Why are you here? Basically, because the sea is saying, I've always done this. I always produce hurricanes. How did you think I wouldn't be back again? Do you understand, guys? And so, if anybody was affected by the hurricanes, right, it's because it never should have been built so far out because the law took back its land, right? The law naturally asserted itself and took back its property. Now, it's hard to say at this point, right? Where Florida ends and Florida begins, right? Because then you have to go back to the maps and the engineering and where Florida used to be to figure out how the design of Florida was made wrong, right? It never should have been pushed out to the sea. Consequences are results, natural outcome. These are not the same as retributions or punishments. Outcomes are simply that. They are what results from the natural application of natural laws. They are that which occurs predictably as a consequence of what has occurred. All physical life functions in accordance with nature laws. Once you remember these laws and apply them, you have mastered life at the physical level. So, if Florida had never expanded out, the devastation this time around couldn't have been as bad. It was only bad because they expanded into the natural law of natural hurricanes that occur naturally. Make sense? Now, I don't have nothing to say about the Asmafork Rivers in California. I don't get that at all. I don't understand why the tornadoes always show up, but the bottom line is that they do, right? And those are not preventable. That's nature. And if certain conditions twirl up to destroy, has destroying properties, right? That's the job of a tornado, to whip it up and destroy. Why? That I'm not going to answer. Hopefully, we'll get those things answered. Why the hurricane? We have a theory on the hurricanes, by the way. Our theory, but it's our theory. It's a black thing. We got the whole theory on hurricanes. But what's the theory on tornadoes? That appears every single year. In any case, getting back to the book. Then if I were to know these laws and obey them, says Neil, I would never have a moment's trouble again. Is that what you're telling me? And God says, you would never experience yourself as being in what you call trouble. You would not understand any life situation to be a problem ever. You would not encounter any circumstance with trepidation. You would put an end to worry, doubt, and fear. You would live as you fantasized Adam and Eve lived, not as a disembodied spirit in a realm of the absolute, but as an embodied spirit in the realm of a relative. Yet you would have all the freedom, all the joy, all the peace, and all the wisdom and understanding and power of the spirit you are. You would be fully realized. This is the goal of your soul. Then it's its purpose to fully realize itself while in a body, to become the embodiment of that it really is. This is my plan for you. This is my ideal for you, that I should become realized through you, that God. Did you ever hear that before? We got to highlight that. Hold on. Highlighter. There you go. I've been using a pencil to highlight, a yellow pencil, but I actually brought a highlighter. And guys, you might think it's like funny when I'm like, I brought a highlighter. We don't have services out here. It's not like I can go to the local whatever, because there are no locals, whatever, and pick up a highlight. It doesn't work like that out here. You guys are so blessed over there, you don't even know. So I'm like, I brought one highlighter and I'm treasuring it like it's an extension of my limb. One highlighter makes me happy. This is the goal of your soul. The purpose is my plan for you. That this is my ideal, that I should become realized through you. So, did any of y'all ever think for a second that all the time we're begging and asking God for all the things that we need to be happy here? And God is saying, at least in this book, God is saying that I should become realized through you. That God needs me as much as I say, I need you, God. I need a car. I need. God's looking at us and going, Tracy, I need you. Lisa, I need you. Soul sister, I need you. Tiffany, I need you. Black coffee, I need you. Anissa, I need you. Marlene, I need you. Sanji, I need you. Jessica, I need you. Stephen, I need you. And Kylie, I need you. Right? Did you ever think that that is a concept that you can now embrace? That there's something about you that God needs because it's He, God, evolving through us? Now, it does make sense to me, right? What I'm reading here, it does make sense. Because I remember I read somewhere, and I don't know where, that God sent Jesus down here because Jesus was his eyes, right? And so he sent him down as representation for himself, even though Jesus was sent here with all the knowledge that he needed, but he was actually feeding back to God what his experiences was like here. So God needed Jesus to understand what's happening down here, right? And I know we think of Jesus as this extreme high being, but it could God need you as a representation that he had Christ come down here for? Is God seeing you through your eyes to understand everything that maybe God needs to change to make the world a better place? I don't know. I don't know. This is my plan for you. This is my ideal, God says, that I should become realized through you. That concept is turned into experience. that I might know myself exponentially. Right? That God is God, but that you are God too. That I am the I am of the I am. I become the I am, and I become the I am because God might know himself through me. That's powerful. Like, it's kind of like I just got a little dizzy right now, right? It's powerful. Oh, let's breathe a little. Let's get through this. Let's breathe. There's no rush here to understand what God is trying to say. We're not rushing here. We're trying to figure it out, but we're definitely not going to be rushing what it is that God is trying to tell us, because what we don't understand, God is going to provide the same message all over again. And if we don't understand it, God's going to provide the same message all over again. And if we don't understand, God is going to provide the same message all over again. The trick is you waking up to the repetitive messages. All right? This is my plan for you. This is my ideal, that I should become realized through you. That concept is turned into experience, that I might know myself exponentially. The laws of the universe are laws that I lay down. They are perfect laws, creating perfect function of the physical. Have you ever seen anything more perfect than a snowflake? It's intricacy, its design, its symmetry, its conformity to itself, and originality from all else. All are a mystery. You wonder at the miracle of these awesome displays of nature, and yet you wonder at the miracle of the awesome display of nature. And yet, if I can do this with a single snowflake, what do you think I can do? Have I done with the universe? Has anyone ever marveled, side note, guys, side note, at a snowflake? Anyone? Did you know that snowflakes are repeated in water? Did you know how funny God is? He repeats snowflakes in water. He's really funny. Or does he repeat the same patterns in everything? And maybe I just noticed it's in water. So where's my guy at? I've got this book. I never really talk about this book. I keep saying I'm going to do a whole class on it, and I never do a class on it. And it's called Water. It's a water crystal oracle, right? Because that's how I communicate. I communicate via water crystals and tarot cards, right? That's my communication pattern, right? And God has these amazing images that have shown up through the study of this guy, Masaru Emoto, who I absolutely am so impressed with his water theories. So let me take a few of these. I'm going to take you out and put you in. I mean, so beautiful. Hold on. And I don't know about you. Where's my phone? I love snowflakes. Of course, when snowflakes are all meshed together, you miss the individual of the snowflake. But untouched snow, how beautiful is untouched snow, right? So let me get a picture here of these cards. I'm showing you how God get it a little highlighted, turn the picture around, get a little color in it. No, okay. Exposure, brilliance. Let's get to, not too brilliant. Highlights, shadows. That's good. Contrast, brightness, and only brightness, black point. Saturation. Okay, I'll take that. And vibrance. All right, let's stop there. I'm going to send this picture over. These are cards from Masaru Emoto. Hold on. Didn't go through. Why not? What's it waiting for? Oh, I don't have enough bandwidth. Why? Why don't I have enough bandwidth? Again, this is the life of the Caribbean. Stop. All right. If it doesn't come through right now, it will come through. I'm not worried. I'll just keep talking until the bandwidth comes back to me. Have you ever seen anything more perfect than a snowflake? Its intricacy, its design, its symmetry, its conformity to itself, and originality from all else, all mystery. You wonder at the miracle, this awesome display of nature. Yet, if I could do this with a single snowflake, what think you I can do or have done with the universe? Were you to see the symmetry of it, the perfection of its design, from the largest body to the smallest particle, would you not be able to hold the truth of it in your reality? Even now, as you get glimpses of it, you cannot yet imagine or understand its implications. Yet you can know that there are implications far more complex and far more extraordinary than your present comprehension can embrace. Your Shakespeare said it wonderfully. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. And then Neil says, then how can I know these laws? How can I learn them? And God said, it's not a question of learning, but of remembering. And Neil says, how can I remember? And listen to this, guys. Listen to this part. God says, begin by being still. That is a mouthful. Begin by being still. How many of y'all are afraid of being still? Hmm. Let's sit on that for a minute. Let's be still for a minute. Is it uncomfortable? Let's be still. for a minute. Is it uncomfortable? Let's be still for a minute. Do you feel uncomfortable? Let's be still for a minute. Is it uncomfortable? I should put on my channel a YouTube video of stillness. I should just record what is outside and what it would feel like to just be still for a few hours. Would you get bored? Would you feel like I have to do something every day, every minute? Could you not be comfortable inside your skin? Maybe that is something your soul is craving. Maybe your soul is craving to be still. Maybe that's the healthiest thing you're going to learn today. Maybe you can stretch out on the sofa, turn the TV off. If you need some instrumentals, I would not deny you something, but take the time to just be still and be quiet. Would that drive you crazy? Many metaphysical people are learning to shut down their TVs. Many of you all are like, I don't do TV anymore. Do you know that that's you getting closer to your idealized self? Do you know that you rechecking and recalibrating yourself? Do you know that you saying, I can't do the world anymore, but I want to stay? So I'm going to figure out how to stay by insulating myself and not letting TV affect me. Do you know, you metaphysical people, that when you turn away from TV, you are taking care of yourself? It's a very metaphysical thing. It's you acknowledging something needs to change for your spirit, your soul, your mental health. Something needs to change. And you've somehow found a way to organize that change, especially if everything around you is full of chaos. You've learned to take the time to go inside yourself and not hate that you're not partying, that you're not drunk, that you're not around people that make you anxious, make you angry, that you just learn to like yourself. When I came to the Caribbean, my sole purpose to come to the Caribbean was to have an elongated retreat or a lifelong retreat. I don't know. I actually don't know. My intention was to not come with the TV. And I had a TV I did not have a TV for almost a year. And then on my birthday, everybody got together so that I could buy a TV. One of my group mates, Sky, made sure that she reached out to everyone and was like, Tracy needs a TV. I didn't need a TV. Didn't. She's like, Tracy needs a TV. I'm of gratitude that I have the TV, right? And when I brought the TV, I it's a little more expensive here in California, right? I mean, where am I? In St. Croix. So you all can get a TV, 65 inches for $200, right? We can't do that here. Uh, 65-inch TV would cost us like $1,000, right? 800, $900,000 here, right? I should video this and show you. But at Walmart, you can get the TV or there's always these sales on TVs. Like, you guys are so blessed over there. I don't think you guys know it. It's not until I came here. I was like, oh my God, they're so blessed in the States. And so I got all this money in, but I wanted to stay true to me, guys, right? I was already accustomed to not having a TV. I really didn't want a TV. And to honor everyone that helped me get a TV, I got a TV. However, I did not get a 65 inch, a 95 inch, a 70 inch. Sky wanted me to get the biggest TV ever. But I just couldn't do it. I said, okay, I'm going to honor the fact that I would love to have a TV. Who am I kidding? I'd love to have a TV. So I went out and I purposely found a small TV, right? 40 inches, I think is what I got, or 42. I think it might be 42, but the screen might be 40. A couple of things I learned when they say 40, when they say 42, it ain't, right? The screen is less than whatever the box says, right? So I kept looking at the box. In the box, it looked massive. It was just the right price. I think it was like $400 for a 42-inch TV. There's only a few places to buy a TV here in St. Croix. I went to all of the places and I just decided the last one I went to, I think from sheer exhaustion, I was like, okay, I'll buy the TV. Plus, they also had someone to come over and mount the TV. So it all worked out perfectly, right? I had a lot of money left over, a lot. And I just wanted to honor the gifts, the financial gifts that everyone gave me. So I did not have a kitchen table. So I brought the most beautiful kitchen table. I mean, beautiful, just a beautiful piece of block wood. It's so heavy, it's so massive. And that's how I balanced out, right? Not paying for such a big TV. I took the money and I bought something else that I really, really needed, really wanted. Why am I telling you this story? Begin by being still. Begin by being still. Now, what did it say? Then how can I know these laws? How can I learn them? God said it's not a question of learning, but remembering. And then Neil says, how can I remember them? And God said, begin by being still. Begin by being still. Now, ironically, just before I came here to have this conversation with you, why is it not here? Let me see something. I just saw a video where this couple was saying, it's not here. It's weird. Oh, maybe because my phone and my TV is not communicating at the same pace. Where this couple put on their title why they left St. Thomas. St. Thomas is the sister island to St. Croix. And their name is How to Beach. They made all these amazing videos when they moved to St. Thomas, right? And built their YouTube channel on living on St. Thomas. But they have since left. And I was looking at their video on why they left. And basically, they said they were bored. And I laughed. And I was like, you're in paradise. And the one thing you get out of it is boredom. And then even the husband admitted this was the safest place during COVID, which it absolutely was, people. I don't know about them other islands. The Virgin Islands was safe to be, right? We didn't have near numbers as some of y'all in the States, right? And then, I don't know if it was him or the wife, but immediately they go, well, let's not bring up COVID. No, bitch, let's bring up COVID. You were blessed. You stayed alive in paradise. Well, people were dying in the States. Oh, let's not bring up COVID. Oh, we won't bring up COVID. What the hell are you talking about? And by the way, don't build a video telling people that you left St. Thomas because you were bored. You know what? Get the fuck out. And get out. We don't want you. Mm-mm. I say that to say, how do I know the nature of the law? How can I remember them? Right? And God says, begin by being still. And that's what island life is like. It's about being still. It's about being one with yourself. It's about being one with the beach, one with nature. Some of you assholes get to snorkel all day. I'm afraid to snorkel, but I'm going to try it one day. I cannot not try snorkeling, even if I try it with the little 10-year-olds, right? I don't care. I'm going to do it. It's not the point. It's not about being bored. It's about liking yourself. So they went back to Florida. Really? Florida. Really? It's like, oh, there's nothing to do. No. You were here during the COVID most of the time. They were here 3 years. COVID lasted 2 of the 3 years, basically. We're still in COVID, but that's not the point. Like, I was like, oh my God, I hate these people. And hate is a strong word. But I'm just so mad because it really is amazing to live here. It really is. But you have to like yourself first. You have to figure out that being quiet is for you, not against you. You don't have to go line dancing. You don't have to get drunk at a bar. You don't have to whoop it up on the island. I mean, you can, but you don't have to. That's not what island life is made for. It's for relaxing. And if you come to live here, it's an elongated vacation. In any case, back to the book. Begin by being quiet. Wow. Who needs to practice that? Who needs to understand that part of today's lesson? Quiet the outer world so that the inner world might bring you sight. I stop there for a minute while I drink my coffee. Quiet the inner world, quiet the outer world, so that the inner world, the inner you, might bring you sight. Mhm. People always ask me, like, why are you so good? Actually, people never ask me that. I'm telling you, the reason why I am so good as a psychic is because I practice being quiet. When I go to a party, I'm quiet. I'm observing everything, everybody. I'm observing chandeliers, design. I'm quiet. That could be at a club, that could be at somebody's house, that could be at a lecture, that could be at my work. Everything in the universe is always trying to tell you something. Always. And unless you get quiet, you don't get the messages. Begin by being quiet. Quiet the outer world so that the inner world might bring you sight. This insight is what you seek. Yet you cannot have it while you are so deeply concerned with your outer reality. Seek, therefore, to go within as much as possible. And when you're going within, come from within as you deal with the outside world. Remember the axiom: if you do not go within, you go without. Be in the first person as you repeat it to make it more personal. If I do not go within, I go without. Now, let's go back to kids who are in college, right? And you do two things in college when you're studying: you study in groups or you study alone. Even if you study in group, you guys are focused on a topic, right? You don't go to study in group to talk about Real Housewives of yada yada boom boom boom, right? That's a waste of your valuable time in a group. You come together, you're in a group, you have your textbooks and your notes, and you discuss the class. Because everything else in your peripheral, you are not being bothered with. You're getting rid of the outer world to understand the material to pass the class. Or you're at home and you're in your bedroom and you're studying solo. You are one with the book and you have to quiet everything in the outer world to understand the class. Doesn't mean you don't go to work. Doesn't mean you don't deal with your parents. Doesn't mean you don't have siblings that might bust into your room. What you doing? What you doing? I'm studying. Get out. Why you always studying? Why you? I can't explain it. Get out. And that cannot be explained is the quiet time that's required to get something inside, to understand that something different needs to occur with you in order to produce something out of you, which in your case would be a test if you're a student. But imagine if you did that at work. Imagine if you went to work and got quiet. I wonder what you would see. Maybe you should try it. Imagine if you go to work and just observed. Imagine if you're in a group of people and you didn't talk and you were quiet, fully engaged, right? Don't disengage because that's rude. Fully engaged, but look at the mannerism of the people that are talking. Look at their body language. What is all of that telling you? What are you observing? And what are you seeing? Because what you might be seeing in quiet time might be the very answers that you need to know, right? If you do not go within, If I do not go within, I go without. I never heard that before. Has anybody ever heard that before? I never heard if I do not go within, I go without. I like knowing it today because it makes so much sense. You have been going without all your life. Really? What? Yet you do not have to and never did. There is nothing you cannot be, says God. There is nothing you cannot do. There is nothing you cannot have. Oh, that's a lot. Just breathe, everyone. Did you know that? I'm asking you all in a way where I'm acting like you all don't understand it, right? I'm doing it on purpose. If I'm insulting you, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with how I'm insulting you. Forgive me. I'm just as ignorant in trying to teach this particular book as the speaker, as the teacher, as I'm believing you are with hearing me teach the book. I'm assuming you all are as ignorant as I am. That's what I'm assuming. Um, put it in the first person as you repeat it to make it more personal. I keep doing it wrong. If I do not go within, I go without. You have gone without all your life, yet you do not have to. You never did have to. There's nothing you cannot be. There's nothing you cannot do. There's nothing you cannot have. I could have been a contender. I could have been a contender. Have you ever tried something you thought, if I tried, I'll fall on my ass? With me, it was ice skating. I always wanted to be an ice skater, but given the circumstances and not having the resources or the community to venture into that, I never became an ice skater. Then I was an adult and we went to an ice skating pond and I never ice skated before. And I just I always have conversations with God, by the way, not knowing what I was doing. It would just be natural. And I was like, God, I want to skate. When I get out there, I want to skate. Put on my ice skates, wobble, 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 fall, wobble, wobble, glide, a little, fall, wobble, wobble, glide, a little longer, fall. Get up, glide now, and glide. And accepting the fact that I can skate if I thought about it and got quiet without lessons, guys, without lessons. The only thing I didn't master is how to do it backwards. Because if I mastered how to do it backwards, I think I would have entered a competition for skating. I couldn't master. My mind would not let me master doing it backwards. I was like, no, why am I stopping myself? And I knew I was stopping myself because if I could learn how to skate as an adult without a teacher, imagine if I gave myself more patience to be taught, right? There is nothing you cannot be. And I was satisfied at knowing that in my adult age, when I say adult age, was my 20s, in my adult age, I didn't want to be a skater. I wanted to master the art of. And what I had begun to do was enough for me. I didn't want to be a skater, what I realized. I wanted to be one with what I saw on TV on the Olympics. I wanted that feeling, not to be a skater. I wanted that freedom. And I got it because I didn't deny myself the ability as an adult, because all of them were like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 13, as an adult to be like, can I skate, God? Always wanted to do it. Will you let me? Will I let myself? And I got something out my system. And I'm telling you, we would go to ice skating rinks over and over and over again, just competing against one another and still falling, but just knowing that you accomplished that. And here's the thing, accomplishing it and not carrying it for the rest of my life. It's like I accomplished this, moving on, because I recognize I've got other things to accomplish. Like ice skating was the beginning of understanding that there's nothing I cannot be. There is nothing I cannot do. There is nothing I cannot have. Huh. Okay. Okay. And is that something any of you are grappling with right now? Is there something going on, especially for metaphysical people, right? This is a metaphysical channel. And it comes with so many challenges because religion and family and oh my God. And is it weird to do this, that, and third? Oh, fuck it. It's all weird in the metaphysical world. Of course it's weird. Will I be looked at crazy? Yes. Yes. You're going to be looked at crazy. But are you playing to the masses? Or are you playing to yourself and having no regrets because there's nothing you cannot be? There's nothing you cannot do. There's nothing you cannot have. So, metaphysical people, rise up. You're needed in this world anyway, right? There's so many changes that's going on that if you don't recognize, the metaphysical people are going to save the world. We're going to help everyone in this world change the way they're operating, believe differently. So as you keep being fearful to be titled a psychic, well, then don't use the goddamn title. As you keep being fearful to show people how much you love candle magic because they might think you're a witch, well, fuck it. Let them think you're a witch. Like, they probably didn't like you anyway. They probably wanted to call you out your face in the first place. This just gives them the excuse, but all right, witch, got it. I am what I am. And if that makes you comfortable, I'm not going to stop you because I need to do candle magic. So I'm just going to doop-de-doop in my kitchen. Still going to do my candle magic. Mm-mm. Or maybe, metaphysical people, maybe you don't need to make a big announcement. I don't know why metaphysical people think they need to tell the world that they're changing. When you do that, you're actually stopping yourself from change because people will put you down. Be the change. Don't make such a big announcement and expect to be accepted. Just be the change. Jesus Christ didn't come down and be like, I'm coming to change how. No, that's not what Jesus said. Jesus said, hello, there are some problems here. Do you guys really think this is okay? When they asked who he was, then he was like, well, actually, I'm the son of God. And the son of God? Oh, yeah, I am. But he didn't come down bulldozing people, right? I can't get this picture out today to show you the snowflakes. We're going to talk about it next week. So we, oh, no, no, so weird. It's just not going over. Well, let me see. AirDrop, iPad 3. Yeah. Nope, nothing's happening. I'll show you the snowflake that forms in water, like God's intricate details appears over and over and over again um, in nature. All right, doesn't matter. You have been going without all your life. Oh, that hurts my feelings. Yet you do not have to and never did. There is nothing you cannot be. There is nothing you cannot do. There is nothing you cannot have. Huh. Wow. And Neil goes, that sounds like a pie in the sky promise. I don't know. I think Neil's a little bit of a jackass, to be honest with you. But God likes him, so. That sounds like a pie in the sky promise. What other kind of promise would you have God make? Says God. See, God sees him as a jackass too. That sounds like a pie in the sky promise. And God goes, what other kind of promise would you have God make? Would you believe me if I promised you less? For thousands of years, people have disbelieved the promises of God for the most extraordinary reasons. They were too good to be true, so you have chosen a lesser promise or chosen a lesser love. For the highest promise of God proceeds from the highest love. Yet you cannot conceive of a perfect love. And so a perfect promise is also inconceivable, as is a perfect person. Therefore, you cannot believe even in yourself. This is so deep. All right, let's go back. That sounds like a pie in the sky promise. By the way, I don't know what a pie in the sky is. It must be some reference that's like unblack, right? That sounds, let me look it up. Hold on. What is a pie in the sky meaning? Hold on, guys. I never heard of it. What is a pie in the sky meaning? Have you guys heard of a pie in the sky? Britannica did something good that someone says will happen, but that seems impossible or unlikely, an unrealistic goal or plan. And then they give an example. His plan to reduce the national debt seems like a pie in the sky. Something good that someone says will happen, but seems impossible or unlikely. Okay. Whew. That sounds like a pie in the sky promise, right? And then God goes, what other kind of promise would you have God make? Would you believe me if I promised you less? For thousands of years, people have disbelieved the promises of God for the most extraordinary reasons. One of them being they were too good to be true. So you have chosen a lesser promise, a lesser love. For the highest promise of God proceeds the highest love. You cannot conceive a perfect love. And so a perfect promise is also inconceivable, as is a perfect person. Therefore, you cannot believe even in yourself. Now, this brings me to a good point, right? Because all I do is psychic readings, most of them. 98% of them are about love. 98. What I've noticed is that people bring others into their love sphere because they're afraid of admitting they've gone without love. I've only had one person in my lifetime that said, I've never been in love. She's dated, but she's never been in love because she was choosing lesser options for her to the point where she never knew the feeling of love. She felt the feeling of sex, felt the feeling of having a man around, never the love, right? And in my experience as a psychic reader, most people are afraid to wait for the right love, right? And not settle. Not settle because you want to say, I'm a married woman now. And most times, you know you're not with the right partner because the signs are clear. But we'll go forth with dating, marriage, and kids, but knowing internally that something's wrong in this relationship. So it comes down to the disbelief of the promises of God. So you choose lesser, the lesser part of a promise. At least someone showed up. At least I don't look weird anymore being single all my life. That happens to me a lot. People want to call me out my face because I choose not to allow someone too close whose ideology can never fit mine. I'm a psychic, people. I can't just let any man in because he will begin to make fun of me. I have work to do. I've got to talk to the world. I've got to talk to you. I can't be having people putting me down because you don't understand me. So I have to wait for that one that gives me the freedom and the expression to just be me without me having to change them, without them having to change me. I just want to be me. And if that person doesn't come along, I have to be okay with that because I have things to do, right? I won't choose less just to say, I got a man. But many of us, men, choose women, and there's something that's there that's just not complete. Women choose men, and there's just something there that doesn't give you safety. It's not enough. Something is always being held back. So you accept the lesser promise, the lesser love. For the highest promise of God proceeds from the highest love. Yet you cannot conceive of a perfect love. And so a perfect promise is inconceivable, as is a perfect person to you. Therefore, we cannot believe even in yourself. I've been in love once in my life. I thought I was in love another time, but I wasn't. I've been in love once in my life. And to this day, I will always say it was the man that I married. He I loved. I'm not confident in the long haul that he loved me, but I know I loved him genuinely. And I also knew from that love, I wanted to have a baby. So I wanted a baby from the experience of love. And that is exactly what I got, right? There is nothing you cannot be. There is nothing you cannot do. There is nothing you cannot have. I wanted love. I felt it from the time I was 16. I married that man. I stayed with him in love. I had my baby and conceived him in love. And I liked that. And I liked the memory of that. When things went left, I had to figure out, do I love me more in the world of it not being sustainable? And I decided I liked me too much to stay with the man who I felt no longer loved me. And that is the only reason why I left. And that's what I told him. I said, you don't love me anymore. And I can't wait for you to get back to loving me because you can't get back to something that has structurally changed. And I was young. I was 28 when I made this decision. Because I got married at 21. I was 28 and I was like, you can't get back to that you left behind. Something has structurally changed. What has to happen is a new beginning. But I cannot begin new with you. And that's why I left him. Because I was not about to tell a fake story to the world. I was not about to pretend like I was happy. I was going to tell an authentic story, and I was going to tell people my husband cheated. And I didn't know if that was a language skill I wanted to produce over and over again, because remembering that made me feel ugly inside. So I felt like I needed to be empowered. I didn't know it was metaphysical at 28, right? I knew it was different. I didn't know it was physical. I knew I was operating from a metaphysical place in hindsight. I didn't know it then. But I knew he couldn't occupy my space because basically it was too good for him. Basically, he was having a human experience. I was having a metaphysical experience. And he wasn't evolving. He would have brought me down. He would have made me ugly inside. He would have made me ugly outside. He would have made me crazy. And I just knew when the structural change happened, there's a crack in the wall. I can repair the crack, but the crack exists. And so I didn't want to cover up the crack. It had to be dismantled. The marriage had to go. And if I was going to start anew, it was going to be for me. And because somewhere, I believe, in reading this book now, there's somewhere where I understood I don't deserve a lesser love. I don't deserve that, which is the reason why I never cheat, right? Or take on a man that has a relationship or take on a married man. That's me, guys. I'm just talking about me. But I'm telling you, the reason why I don't is because I don't deserve less than. I'm not trying to convince someone to choose me over their wife, to choose me over their girlfriend. I stand alone. And if you can't see the value, I can't. And I'm actually grateful to my ex husband now that he did what he did because it made me understand me better. It made me like me better. Because as I've tried to navigate this whole time from 28 years old, I didn't get divorced until I was like 37. Don't ask any questions. It's weird, I know. Um, but as I navigate my single life, the characters that came to me were always less than. Even in the Caribbean, this bus driver flirted with me and aggressively, and I kind of like the aggressive tone of a man, right? Like, if you're gonna like me, step to me, let me know, right? And he was that aggressive, but it wasn't a bad aggression. It was like assertive, right? And I said, "Are you in a relationship?" And he said, "Not in a happy one." And I said, "Let me know when you leave her." Period. And I had exchanged numbers with him before I asked this question. Another thing I learned: stop exchanging numbers until you find out these ninjas are married or in a relationship. And my birthday was coming up, and he goes, because we had been talking prior on the bus. Every time I see him, da da da, you knew my birthday was coming up. And he goes, "I'm gonna call you on your birthday." And I said, "Please don't." He's like, "I'm gonna call you on your birthday." I just stayed quiet. Remember, begin by being still, quiet the outer world so that the inner world might bring you sight. So he repeated again in his aggressive tone. He's like, "I'm gonna call you on your birthday." I got quiet because I knew there was no way I was gonna pick up on my birthday. Not from him. Not after you told me you're unhappy in a current relationship on a little island that everybody would find out about on a tiny little. No, you're going to figure out you need to break up with that woman and you're going to have to take a chance on breaking up with someone to be with me. I will not tolerate half ass. It won't happen. I can't. I'm on a little island. No, I won't. I won't hurt myself that way. He stopped talking to me. Every time he sees me, he rolls his eyes at me. I just It just it just tickles me black. Like, you don't get to be a lesser than me and then treat me bad because you showed up less than. No, no. It's okay if you man up. And if you don't like the relationship that you're in, it's okay if you get out. But maybe people can't get out of their relationships. I don't know. I don't know if I even care anymore. Ah, that sounds like a pie in the sky promise. What kind of promise would you have God make, says God? Would you believe me if I produced less? For thousands of years, people have disbelieved the promises of God for the most extraordinary reasons. They were too good to be true. So you have chosen a lesser promise, a lesser love. For the highest promise of God proceeds from the highest love. Do you trust God enough to be patient and to know that when love comes to you, it's not the beginning nor the end, it's just an experience, and that you have to wait to see what that experience brings, that it doesn't have to be love, that you're experiencing something with someone else? Even if you have sex with them, it's not love, it's an experience. of a version of love. Yet you cannot conceive of a perfect love, and so a perfect promise is also inconceivable, as is a perfect person. But they're out there. And sometimes people just need to figure out that they're not acting perfect. And sometimes that takes time because the world says to them, oh, you're weird if you're not dating, oh, blah, 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 right? And so people just kind of have to reorganize their thought. How? Begin by being still, quiet the outer world so that the inner world might bring you sight. You cannot conceive of a perfect love, and so a perfect promise is also inconceivable, as is a perfect person. Therefore, you cannot believe even in yourself. Wow. Wow. There's nothing more I want to do in life, guys, than believe in me. That's what I want to do. That's what makes me happiest. And that can't happen unless I begin by being still, by quieting the world so that the inner world might bring me sight. This insight is what I seek, and I cannot have it if I'm so deeply concerned with the outer world and what people perceive as me being single. Oh, that's kind of weird. Maybe she's gay. Maybe she's not a good person. I'm going to let you believe whatever you want. I'm not going to challenge you. I don't care. But I don't think I've cared from 28. I think the only thing I've ever cared about is getting people to understand that they don't have to provide less than. They don't have to accept less than. That they are perfect exactly the way they show up every single day. I am perfect today. I'm not saying improvement isn't required. I'm saying today I'm showing up at the best I can be with the resources that I was given. And that today is perfect. Next week might be a better perfect. I don't know. I'm not expecting to organize my life to be a better perfect. I can only look at today and decide what in my environment today is perfect. And if I need to improve something, well, I might start by getting at the corners of my house. I might improve cleaning. I might clean out my refrigerator. And I might feel more perfect by cleaning out my refrigerator. And then I might go out in the world and I might talk to people and I might be vibrant and happy. And maybe my personality will bring happiness to others. I don't know. But I'm not worried about tomorrow. I'm worried about today. And today, when I woke up this morning, I woke up perfect. In God's eyes, in my eyes. And might there be things I want to improve educationally, physically, um, mentally? Of course. Of course. Absolutely. Am I worried? No, I'm not worried. I'll never worry. I'll never worry. Because if there's anything God wants me to have, He'll make sure I have it. He'll make sure I understand it. He'll make sure I see myself as perfect because of my actions onto others. Guys, I have this little dove here who's listening to my every word. He would not move for like 10 minutes. The minute I mentioned him, he started moving. He listened to every word just now. The animals are so funny in the Caribbean. Oh my God. Spirit is in that animal. It's the cutest thing. I mean, just literally just stopped and listened to me. I think it's the sound of my voice more than anything. So cute. I took a video just now of him being still. And the minute I said, there's this dove looking at me, then he started to move. There you go, soul sister. Today, perfectly imperfect I am. Yeah, yes, I like that. All right, I think I'm going to stop here because you guys know I have to organize how to stop. We will begin next week at That Sounds Like a Pie in the Sky as a recap, right? And then we will continue on. So let's practice today 15 minutes. I don't even, you know what? Even if you have kids, sit them kids down and tell them we are going to practice 15 minutes of just being still. Now, maybe they can look out the window when they do this, right? Because kids, they do need some stimulation, right? And tell them 15 minutes, but you cannot talk. They can move. You can give them something to play with, like a doll or something, or a toy, right? Because kids are fidgety. Um, and give yourself 15 minutes while the kids take on 15 minutes. I would say do it in a group setting. Don't send them off to their rooms to do it. Do it in a group setting. I would say it might be the beginning of restructuring your children um, in a way that is metaphysically sound. If you don't have children, do it for 15 minutes. No TV, no radio, no mantra, no music. Just you, your soul, with God. Just 15 minutes. I'm going to do it too, guys, right? I'm going to do it too. And then after 15 minutes, journal what that felt like to you. And let me know in the comments below. You're metaphysical people that's afraid to be more metaphysical. So let's start practicing walking metaphysical baby steps. So, what a great challenge. I'm going to do it too, right? But you know me, I've got pretty surroundings. I could sit outside right now. I look at the water and boom. But by the way, I'm good and I'm sorry. I said that to make you jealous. I did it on purpose, right? Because I'm in the Caribbean, people. What do you think is going to happen here? I'm in the metaphysical realm of God. All right, that was kind of evil of me. About to end on a good note, and I'm like making people jealous. I apologize. I was going to say something to my healing center. You're going to be able to experience what I experience here every day. I am having a healing program in August. If you want to invite yourself to come, don't forget tarot class. Get that banner up. Tarot class. Get this book or Amazon. Tarot class, April 15th. Get the books, Circles, Tarot, Circles and Cycles by the Tarot Wizard, Jason D. McKean. It's on Amazon. Um, Tarot class begins April 15th. If you want a reading with me, look at the scroll down below. It says it there. psychic readings, text me 213-458-7408. All readings are on FaceTime and Zoom, and regular phone if that's what your preference is. Take 15 minutes and zone out and record what you're feeling. Record what's going on in your mind's eye. And then comment below what that has been for you. I would be so excited to know what's occurring, what feelings are being conjured up. All right, guys, I love you. I am honored that you all are here with me. And thank you. See you next week. Take it easy. Bye.
Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live.